all this. But anyway, about 3 or 4 days after the last time I had tugged on it, it came off. So I want to feel like I did something. I don't know if I did.
You didn't
But this
call
guy-
the Coast Guard?
I should have called the Coast Guard. Actually, yeah, I should have. I should have called. Yeah, I should have. I should have called the Save Our Seabirds. That's what I should have done. Yeah. Anyway, this guy had no chance. What is this thing? I have no clue. I really don't have any idea what it is. This is a river otter in South America. Again, they're very, very curious, just like our river otters. They're very, very curious. They play with bottles. Here's a red-eared slider. The cormorant in the 1970s that had the plastic around its neck, this is what it had around its neck. So from the late 1970s, every time I see one of these, I cut it up. Even these little things, I cut those up too. But what they did, they took this picture and then they cut this off and let the turtle go, and I assume it did okay. But that's a pretty rough life. This is a red deer in Europe. This one is a toughie. It's called a wild wolf. It's in India. And it's completely emaciated, you can see. But it was so emaciated that the rangers, who don't have the ability to shoot a tranquilizer or anything, were able to chase it down. The rangers chased it down, pulled the bottle off of its head, and kept it and fed it for a while, and then let it go, and they actually think it made it. So anyway, that's a happy story. But I'm just glad it lived where the rangers were, so they could do that. And here, I think this is a white-tailed deer in trouble. Whoop, went too far. Okay, so that's the yucky part. That's the wildlife and plastics. That's the innocent victims. So now, what we all must do. There was a high schooler, literally in high school, who was a diver, and he couldn't believe all the plastics that were in the ocean. His name's Boyan Slot. While he was still in high school, he said, I'm going to fix this. And he came up with this way to make big, huge booms that go out and actually try to capture the plastics. The trouble is that the plastics, it's a large area. I should be able to tell you that. It's multiple times the size of Texas, and I think the multiple is 7, but don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. But the trouble is, it's not just on the surface, it goes all the way down. So you get in there, how do you clean out all that yucko out of there? It's a tough one. But Boyan decided that he was going to do something about it. So, and they have actually done it. They deployed them, then they started leaking, so now they brought them back to some place to try and fix them. But anyway, I bet he's our next Elon Musk. I really think he's a brilliant guy. He's trying to do it. Okay, now, this is where I want you guys to make a pledge with me, okay? No more plastic shopping bags. No more. What you can do is just get cloth ones. They're all over the place. You can buy them. They're cheap. All you have to do is remember them. You know how I remember how to remember them? I leave them in the back of my car, and then I go into the store, and I think, oh, shoot! I forgot my bags. And I have to run all the way back out and get my bags. It took me 3 times to remember. Now I remember, I take them in. Now, I wouldn't let Jim, my partner, go out and get the bags, because that wouldn't make me remember it. I had to go out and get the bags. But you can use them. You can do this. Stop using plastic bags. Just use cloth ones. No plastic bottles. This is a little tougher when you're in a different country, but certainly in the U.S. there is no excuse to be using plastic bottles. It's easy to use, reusable containers. Easy to use. What I oftentimes do will stick the bags in this bag when I get home, so I have them and I'll reuse them again. But the ones that I reuse are the ones from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has produce and veggie bags that are made out of corn, and they disintegrate in 90 days. They feel really yucky, but they're wonderful. So, Trader Joe's. I can't push Trader Joe's more strongly. They don't use plastic bags. They only use paper bags. Paper bags are better than plastic bags by far, but they're still not better than this, because it's still putting CO2 into the atmosphere, it's still cutting down trees. No straws. This is one that I always forget, and I'm trying to learn. Every time I sit down at a restaurant, I say, no straw, please. Because they bring you things and it's already has a straw in it. And then I think, well, they're going to throw it away, so I might as well use it. But try to say, just try to say, don't use it. We don't want one. It's hard to remember. And no plastic wrap. Everybody in here, me included, has plastic wrap in their drawer. Don't use plastic wrap. You can go to the dollar store or to Publix and you get reusable covers. They have elastic around them and you can put them on there, on the bowls. And I have the box. I was going to bring the box to show you the box. And I put it someplace really safe where I would remember it. And I couldn't find it.
Is that plastic?
This is plastic, but it's reusable. So I use it many, many times. Many, many times. My partner keeps saying, can't we throw this one away? No. The other thing you can use is wax paper and a rubber band. People have done that. When you have a really big bowl, these don't come much bigger than this in these sets. When you have a really big bowl, you know what I use? Shower cap. Right? You can use it many, 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 many times. So anyway, that's the other thing. So there are ways you can go to the dollar store. You can find these dish covers at the dollar store. You can find them at Publix. Please don't use one-use plastic wrap. It's the one use. We're trying to get away from the one use. Styrofoam cups. When you have a choice, do not use styrofoam. Please, please, please. I was just at Trader Joe's. We're basically vegetarian, but my partner said, can we have some chicken? So I bought some chicken. Then I got home and I told Jim, we can't have chicken anymore. He says, I know. We're trying to go vegetarian. I said, no, because it comes on styrofoam tub thing, plate things. So we don't want to use styrofoam. When it comes in egg cartons, use a different egg carton person. Doggy bag containers, that's the tough one. So try to take your own containers for doggy bags. I forget, I haven't remembered yet when we go out to dinner to take my own. I'll put them there, right there by the side where my keys are, and I pick up my keys and I leave the containers. I haven't remembered yet, but I'm getting there. So we can do something about that too. The other thing is cut open anything that is circular. Now, people are going to say, Terry, why do I have to do that if it's going to the landfill? Like you have your garbage bags that have the handles that come out, you know, and the handles are circular. Why should I cut those apart? Well, if I could tell you about climate change, I could tell you how Sarasota is going to be underwater someday. And our landfills are going to be underwater. And what we have in landfills are going to get into the oceans. And if there are things that are circular, I guarantee you that the seals are going to go through them. So when you're bagging up your trash, you bag it all up, the last thing you do is go by the drawer that has scissors in it and cut those two things so it's no longer circular. You can do that too. It's a pain in the tuchus, I know that. But you can do that too. It's easy, we just have to do it. And we need to be reducing microfiber use. One of the most common microfiber uses are dryer sheets, right? I think we all use dryer sheets. I do. There's a dryer sheet out there that's on paper. So you can actually find it. You just have to be kind of a little persistent. These are at Publix. They're called Myers Clean Day. And it's made out of paper, not out of microfibers. So there's things you can do, you just have to do it. And use cotton and linen clothing. I don't know how I'm going to do that because I really hate to iron. But we got to do it. Look at this poor guy. Look how chafed it is. It's not long for this world. And that's because of us. That's because of us. If we just had cut that, it wouldn't have that on it. So we really need to step up. And we can. That's the thing that's really encouraging about all of this. So I want you all to make me a pact today to try. No more plastic bags. Cut open your circles. No more straws. Okay? Thanks for listening.